Peterson, do you have any comments on the Nazi presence at your protest?
Yeah, I don't like Nazis.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Make a Reaction Reviews, where we reacting to things on the internet. And today we're returning to Dr. Jordan Peterson, and we are going to be reacting to the video that made him famous, that he went viral on. If you don't know, Dr. Jordan Peterson has been a professor for a very, very long time. He has been making videos on YouTube for years, even before he became the Dr. Jordan Peterson. But what made him go viral was his stance against the C-19 bill that I believe passed in Canada, that was kind of put in there as a civil rights part of the bill, and it was basically forcing people, making people speak a certain language by forcing people to say someone's pronoun. So it was induced speech, it was forced speech. It wasn't something you cannot say like hate speech, but it was induced speech, it was forced speech, right? And he was taking a stance against that because he was like, the government should never have the power to make you say something, no matter what your stance on it is, right? He became really famous about that. He was called all the transphobes in the book because of that reason, but because of his viralness, people got to know him, started really looking into him, and he's gained traction since then, and he is way beyond and moved forward from the whole C-19 trans pronoun thing, right? But this is like the beginning of it. This is the start of his journey of the Dr. Jordan Peterson that we know. Just to let you know, because I'm too old for this perpetual adolescentiness, I did edit this video way down. I believe it was like 12 minutes, edited down to almost 6 minutes. I can't take 10 people yelling at Peterson all at once with just emotional, charged, perpetual, adolescent type of language screeching. It's like, it makes my ears hurt, it makes my brain bleed. I can't do it. I feel like, you know that noise, they say that there's like a sound that only certain ages can hear. I feel like I've gotten to the age where like this type of, I can't, like it's the cringe is just too strong for me.
Enjoy your song.
So I edited it down to parts that I just want to talk about and like the main parts of it, but the whole like ganging up and yelling all at once and emotional language, I can't do it. So if you want to watch the entire video, please let me know in the comment section and I would hit you the link. If you just want like 12 minutes of mental torture, go right ahead. But anyway, we're gonna get right into it. But before you do, if you like this type of videos, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell to get notifications when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support this channel even further, you can donate. My PayPal link is in the description box below and also in the comment section. Of course it helps, but you don't have to. You can just like, comment, and subscribe. And another great way to support this channel is either join my brand new membership program, different levels, different tiers, different perks, or you can visit my brand new merch shop, links down below, and links to all the alternative platforms that I'm on, my social medias, and ways to support me. Links are always down below. Other than that, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. All right, here you go.
Peterson, do you have any comments on the Nazi presence at your protest? The presence of Nazis and white supremacists assaulting people at your protest. Do you have any comment on that?
Yeah, I don't like Nazis.
Are their views in alignment with yours?
At some point you have to
That's
realize,
a foolish question. Look, if you want to know what my views are,
I've watched all of your videos, yes.
including
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
then why would you ask such a question?
All of the people who arranged the protest against you watched all of your videos.
It's like, do you want to
I have
disavow?
150 videos on YouTube.
No,
You
your
are telling-
lectures, which sparked the debate.
Okay. I have 150 lectures on YouTube. There's 500 hours of my views.
Do you really
If
think that
wanna
you're
find
worth
out
all
what
of
they
that
were-
time? Would
Yeah,
you like
don't
to
understand.
disavow the
Listen.
physical violence? Trans people were physically assaulted at this rally in your name. Would you like to disavow that violence?
Yes.
So you wish that didn't happen, and you want to,
Absolutely.
and I'm going to post this online that
That's
you would
fine.
like people to not to be more accommodating of trans people and people of color at your events in future.
I would
I'm
like
a
there
person
to
of
be
color.
no
Listen,
violence.
I'm a person of color, and I felt very accommodating here. I felt like my voice. Thank you very much.
I'm also a Muslim, and I feel like this guy's
I'm a
the
person
best.
of color.
I
There are
love
many
his
Muslims.
videos.
You wanted to
Over
disavow.
Greenland.
You wanted to disavow, and this is the disavow. I am not an advocate of violence. I'm speaking out the way I'm speaking out because I think this is a route to no violence.
Stopping it there. Okay, so it's a silly question for a couple of reasons. It's a silly question because it wasn't a question, it was an accusation. It's also a silly question because if you knew who Dr. Jordan Peterson was, you would know that would be just a nonsensical question because, of course, he doesn't advocate for violence. He never has. He doesn't advocate for these type of people. You know what I mean? I can't say it because censorship. But the third why this is a silly question, because I would reckon that this person definition of, I'm just gonna say the word Nazi, is not the same definition that I have. The definition I have is people who want to off people of a certain heritage, right? Or think that they're lesser to them, or think they should have less rights, or whatever, right? But I'm pretty sure because of the behavior of this person that their definition, anybody who disagrees with them, their definition of white supremacists is probably just chalked up to cis white male. So I think that's also why I think this is a silly question. Until I see actual video and footage or photos of people that's wearing swastikas, I'm pretty sure that their definition is very broad when it comes to the idea of white supremacists or Nazi. Let's continue.
I have no idea if I'm your enemy. You have no idea about me.
You won't use my pronouns, so I'm pretty sure you're my enemy, yes.
Yeah, well, I know you think that, but I don't believe that using your pronouns is going to do you any good in the long run. I think it'll do quite the contrary.
What the? You are aware that non-binary people are valid in the American Psychological Association.
Is that your opinion?
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's about non-binary pronouns.
No, it's not.
I've been denied housing as a trans person. These rights would protect me.
Denied housing?
I've been denied housing.
From the state or for the open market? So have you been denied housing, like, from the government?
It's illegal either way if we had human rights.
From the government?
I'm not
or have you tried to get a house like everybody else and they said, no, you're weird, you can't work? No, if the state has done that, that's a problem.
They said,
but if someone doesn't want to live with you, that's their right.
They said, no, you're trans.
Really not sure how you
so no, if I had human rights, that wouldn't have fucking happened.
Yeah, you're weird. I don't want to live with schizophrenic
As far as I'm
people. I don't want to live
concerned,
with people who are
that's a
bipolar.
terrible thing.
Stopping it there. Okay, that guy was a little emotional too. I know I shouldn't just like doubt someone's lived experience, but the idea that someone just came out and said, no, you're trans, you can't live here, and in this era of cancel culture, I doubt that happened. Probably what happened if this person was denied housing is that they assumed that was why they got denied housing, because again, when you are a hammer, everything is a nail. When you're a victim, everyone is a perpetrator. So if you think the world is transphobic and the world is against you, that is going to be your perception of reality, when that might not actually be the case of the situation. Maybe it happened, but I'm almost like 99% sure that didn't happen. And also, they're going to throw out a lot of other rhetoric that this bill may or may not have said. I'm going to trust Dr. Jordan Peterson's point of view of what the bill is, and not really their point of view, because again, they already got caught lying, saying that they watched all these videos, and they didn't watch all the videos. So I'm going to assume that what they're saying in the video is stuff that they heard and that they're just parroting back. However, if the bill is just like, like straight down civil rights bill where you cannot be denied access to health care and education and housing and work because of your sexuality or your gender or your race or your religion or your pronoun, or if you're trans or not, Dr. Jordan Peterson has never said that that's what he was for. He's never said, hey, I want trans people to be denied housing. I don't want trans people to have equal rights. He's actually said the opposite. If she's actually watched all his videos like she claimed and then got caught in a lie. His argument has always been, I do not want to be compelled to say something. That the government should never be able to legislate, you know what I'm trying to say. The government should never be able to force you, compel you into language or speech. The government should never have control over what you can say or cannot say. We have some legal stuff like you can't threaten harm, you cannot scream fire in a theater and stuff like that. But for the most part, we have freedom of speech. I know this is Canada, and it's different because Justin Trudeau may be the son and the offspring of Castro, which is a dictator and totalitarian and murderer. That's another video. So I know it's different, but that was always his point. His point was never about should trans have rights. But as you can see with a lot of these people, they can never just stay on point. They have to use a lot of really exaggerated, emotional, always go to the extreme, you don't respect our humanity type of stuff, instead of staying on actual point. And his point was always, the government should never be able to compel me to speech. Anyway, let's continue.
It's too bad that that's happened.
So you don't want us to, but you don't want us to have protections in the human rights bill that will allow me to have employment,
No, I don't
allow
want-
me to have housing security, allow me to have medical care. That's what this is about.
That's
It's
what
not
you
about
think it's
infringing
about.
on your rights or making you learn a new
I
fucking pronoun.
I don't think that's what it's about. What evidence do you have that attempting to transform the way that people use pronouns is going to produce a positive effect on
Because
society?
are you aware that there is a trans boy who killed himself in psychiatric care recently because he was continuously being misgendered by his care workers?
And that is my precise problem.
And there have been multiple recorded instances of trans people killing themselves because they are not being integrated into society. We are not looking for special treatment. We are looking to be able to integrate ourselves into society. And if you refuse to refer to us by our pronouns, which is not allowed to ask, singular they pronouns go all the way back to Shakespeare. It's not a new thing. If you refuse to let us integrate ourselves into society, you create alienation that results in suicide. We are in a suicide epidemic right now. What are you contributing to this as a psychologist?
Man, you know, you're almost impossible to talk to. You're so full of rhetoric that it's impossible to listen to you. I would be more than happy to listen to you.
Yeah,
I
really.
was devoid of rhetoric. And I don't really think I am a rhetorician. Just so you know that. And you know, like, it's very hard to listen to you. I mean, it's very hard to attend to you
because
you rattle on in with your ideological speech.
It's not
and
ideological.
I
It's personal. That's what
It's not personal. You haven't said a personal thing.
I'm
Everything
talking
you've
about
said
something
so
that
far.
affects my community.
It's just that when you say the things that you say, it tends, even if you didn't mean it to, it attracts people like neo-Nazis and fascists because they see an avenue in what you're saying to do what they want. Even if that's not what you meant, they see an avenue in the idea of like a more abstract form of free speech. They see an avenue in that to continue to spread their hateful ideology and to make more people hateful. So that's why the Nazis come here. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that that's why that was.
I'm perfectly aware of that.
I have a calm, rational question.
Okay.
I won't get emotional with you. Who is this legislation harming? Who is
Harming anybody who wants to use their own words.
So, in what capacities? Be specific.
Look, it's important that people are able to use their own words
Okay.
because that's how we think. And if
So-
the government starts legislating how we think, and
So
how
if
we
I
speak,
wanted
we're
to
gonna
call
be
you
like,
she,
Look, are you going to let me
if,
finish?
no, I'm playing off of what you're saying. If I wanted to call you she and her and miss, because
I
that's
don't
my
care
freedom of
what you call
speech,
me.
and if everyone just called you that all the time, and that was the only thing,
Call me. Can't you tell?
I think that you don't care.
Stop it there. Okay, so earlier in the video, he said that he doesn't think using someone pronouns is like the solution. And then fast forwarding to her saying that trans people kill themselves. The point that I think he was trying to make was that we should not create a narrative that in order to survive through the world, that the entire world needs to become your safe space, so then you are able to survive it, right? Like, the narrative that we should create is that you should be able to build up yourself enough where you can survive the world as it exists. Basically, being stoic, right? Being strong-minded. If someone mispronouncing you makes you go off yourself, that is not the thing that made you go off yourself. There was already like a cascading, an enormous amount of mental health issues going on before you decided to go off yourself. No one was like, I'm fine and I'm good, I'm well-rounded, I'm mentally healthy, I'm physically, emotionally, and spiritually healthy, and then someone mispronoun you and you go jump off a bridge. That is not what's happening. The thing is like, it's great that we expanded the conversation when it comes to mental health and taking the stigma away from mental health, but what we're seeing now is people are like almost developing mental health issues, like rapid onset gender dysphoria. Like, people are almost like creating these things for themselves, and instead of sort of like trying to create a system where people become more strong-minded, when people become more stoic, people don't allow words to be the thing that like knocks them over and makes them fall down. When people are getting the mental health help that they need, and so they can be able to be well-rounded and strong-minded enough to get through the world. But this narrative, like the entire world needs to, the entire world, or your society, your community, or whatever, your country, your city, your state, your town, where everyone else has their own struggles, because I know a lot of people who like love to live in victim land think that they are like they have the monopoly on struggle, especially university students, that which is extremely privileged. You have any idea how privileged it is to be able to get an education compared to the rest of the world? But anyway, people who live in this victim world think that they have the monopoly on oppression or on mental health or depression or suicide, right? A lot of people are dealing with their own crap. A lot of people are dealing with mental health issues. It's not just, oh, it's the trans, it's the blacks, it's the women, it's the gays, it's everybody. So many, like, mental health issues are on a rise for everyone, especially in young straight men. But this idea that, like, everyone else with their own issues, their own problems, their own lives, their own struggles, their own hopes and dreams, their own lived experiences have to then make your life better and your life safer and make your feelings and how you feel and your lived experience above everyone else, instead of you building up the tenacity, instead of you building up the armor, instead of you building up the mental stamina, instead of you building up the mindset to be able to get through the world. We're all supposed to cater to you. That is not the way to go, and that's not going to help anybody. And what a lot of these trans activist people don't like to talk about is that, yes, people who deal with gender dysphoria and people who are trans do have mental health issues, and there is a high suicide rate. But guess what? When they do transition, or if they're even in a space where they're highly accepted for their gender expression or how they feel or who they are, they still have a high suicide rate because they're still dealing with mental health issues. A lot of the trans people, the trans activists, like to pretend that the mental health issues or the suicide rates is because we live in a transphobic world. And I'm not saying people don't off themselves because they're experiencing transphobia, but a lot of it's because they're still dealing with mental health issues, especially if they've been misdiagnosed with gender dysphoria or misdiagnosed as trans and are actually dealing with something else. And their mental health issue will never be cured and never go away, and they will never get the help that they need. The root cause of the problems will never be solved if you just simply say people just need to be nicer. That's not how it's solved. And the idea that Jordan Peterson is okay with being called a female because he's never experienced that. Jordan Peterson has been called every single name in the book. Every single desirable name when it comes to every phobic or ist in the book. He has been called that. He has been labeled that. His name has been dragged. His whole family has been dragged through the mud. So he has experienced that. And he's not sitting there throwing a fucking tantrum over it. Anyway, let's continue.
The authority to determine whether or not
why do I have the authority to determine what I say? What kind of question is that?
I have one quick question. Okay, so they them pronouns are written into the Oxford English Dictionary, the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. It's actually the word of the year this year. And it does have historical continuity all the way back to Shakespeare. It is objectively an English word, singular they pronouns, grammatically correct. Do you think that you can choose to not respect something that is in the English language as a professor, as an academic, that you are going to
do that? Absolutely. I am choosing.
Alright, that's it, guys. I mean, people choose not to use the English language correctly all the time, so I don't know why this would be different. And stop acting like people are just asking for them, they, and he and her. People are asking for literally hundreds and hundreds of pronouns that are created on a daily basis to be used. So again, be genuine with your questioning and your ideology, okay? Anyway, that's it, guys. I am hot. This video is longer than it probably should be. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support the channel further, you can donate. My PayPal link is in the description box below and also in the comment section. Of course it helps, but you don't have to. You can just like, comment, subscribe. Another great way to support the channel is either join my brand new membership program or brand new Patreon. Different levels, different tiers, different perks, or you can visit my brand new merch shop. Links down below. I also have a second travel vlog channel. I travel as a lifestyle or live abroad. If you'd like to know where I am in the world, you can go to the description box below and also in the comment section. Go subscribe to my travel vlog channel and or follow my travel Instagram. My stories is usually what's most up to date. And you guys have an amazing day. Bye!